4 people were killed and 1 person was wounded early Sunday morning after more than 40 rounds of ammunition were fired in an ambush shooting at a birthday party in Inglewood. The city's mayor called the shooting the worst act of violence that the city has seen in years. Firefighters and paramedics were dispatched at 1:43 a.m. to a house in the 1300 block of Park Avenue. According to a Los Angeles County Fire Department dispatcher, the house was an Airbnb, meaning a short-term rental. One of the tenants said sources said those participating in the crime were gang-related, but officials said they didn't know a motive for the shooting and were looking for suspects. 2 of the victims who were killed, one was Breahna Stines and the other one was Marnisha Hamilton, and they were sisters. The mother asked not to be identified, but only by her first name. Tiffany said family had gathered Saturday at the home where the shooting took place to celebrate Stein's 20th birthday, which was Sunday. And also, Hamilton, her sister, was a 25-year-old. They both were outgoing, beautiful girls. The mother said, sitting beside a display of candles and 2 large photographs of her daughters, that they had been placed on the sidewalk at the crime scene. They both had futures ahead of them, and to have it taken away was a terrible thing. She declined to discuss the shooting, but said the other 2 victims were not members of her family, and she did not know them at all. During a news conference, Inglewood's mayor, James T. Butts Jr., said multiple weapons were used, including 1 assault rifle and 1 handgun, in what he described as an ambush. The victims appeared to have been targeted, he added. This is the largest number of shooting victims that have been injured in this city since the 1990s. And anybody that lives in Los Angeles, we know about the 90s when it was extra, extra, extra. He said, when I think about this and hear a crime like this anywhere, even in New York, Santa Monica, Culver City, he says that these people are psychopathic killers that have to be sequestered from society, meaning they have to be taken from society. And anybody that knows my opinion when it comes to sequestering and taking them from society, they definitely should be taken away by the same sword that they take somebody else's child away. Butts also urged the suspects to turn themselves in and said, "We will find you and prosecute you." This is what he said. Later in the day, Butts said the attack was not random and it was related to the people who were expected to be at the party. Authorities had not released the names of the victims as of Sunday night. The street where the shooting happened is lined with 1- and 2-story homes, not far from Edward Vincent Jr. Park and Centinela Elementary School. It's less than 2 miles from the new SoFi Stadium, which will host the NFC Championship game next week and the Super Bowl on February the 13th. Wow. And it doesn't make sense. And young people, if I were you guys, I wouldn't even do house parties, because house parties have a lot of different weirdos that come to them, and you don't know what drama they're bringing with them. You don't know who's following them to a party. You don't know what they just did, and then they come and get everybody violated, just like in this situation. And this stuff is heartless out here. And we definitely know the young people are off the chain. And young people have always been off this chain for centuries. When I was growing up, when the people that was growing up before me, and this decade as well. But the shit has to stop. We can't keep repeating the same cycles over and over and looking for a different outcome. That's insanity. And then we always want to talk about how kingship we are, how this we are, how that we are. But look at the things that we do. It doesn't add up. A king doesn't do that. A royal person doesn't put themselves in those kind of meaningless situations. So young people, y'all just have to stop it. And at this rate, if I was a young person, I just wouldn't deal with the other young people. If I'm going to have a party, it's going to be a family party. Ain't going to be no homies, friends, and outsiders involved. And that way you can keep it as safe as possible. Because it's too much of this going on out here. And we have to get a change. It's 2022. And we're still doing 1980 shit. And that's dumb. That doesn't make sense. That means you never learned nothing from history. So that means you don't even know who you are, and you can't find out who you are because you don't even understand history. You don't understand it enough to change the way you're moving. And with that, I'm going to say this is the news in you. North, east, west, south. Unite from every alley in Cali, intersection and back street. Subscribe to the channel and hit the thumbs up on your way out the door.